Hi, in this video, I'm just going to give an overview and some instructions for chapter 4. So let me share the screen here for chapter 4. Chapter 4 is entitled Calculations, Chemical Changes, and the Chemical Equation. So there are 9 sections in this chapter, so it's a pretty broad overview of what chemical reactions are. But we're mainly going to focus on just a few of the concepts. So what you'll see here is that for these 9 sections, some of them are in bold and underlined. Those are the ones you really want to focus on. That'll be the material that you're most responsible for. So for example, the first section, 4.1, is called the mole concept and atoms. In this, there are several problems at the end of the chapter that you want to work on, and they're right here. Now, I'll warn you, there's a lot of them there. There's 17, 18, and then 27 through 46. It is not my intent that you have to do all of those problems. My intent with that is that do as many as you need until you feel comfortable with that material. So in 27 through 46, there are many examples that are the same, and they even have multiple parts where you're essentially doing the same problem over and over again. So do as many as you feel like you need to until you're able to get the concept and be able to do the problems correctly. Now, there are 2 examples in the chapter for that section that you should try, and that's 4.4 and 4.5. I'm going to make separate videos about those 2 problems, but those particular ones are the ones you want to focus on. Of course, read the textbook in that section so you can get an idea of what they're doing, and then try those 2 examples yourself, and then work on these end of chapter problems for section 1. Likewise, section 2 is called the chemical formula, formula mass, and molar mass. And there are, again, a lot of problems at the end of that section. So these are at the end of the chapter, 39 through 52. Try as many of those as you need until you feel comfortable with the material. Once you feel comfortable with the material, you're set, okay? If it takes all of them, okay, it takes all of them. That'll take a long time. But if you can do it with 3 or 4 or 5 of them, good job, that's fine. Again, there are a couple of examples that you want to go over first. So do examples 4.7 and 4.8. These will give you a good idea of how to do those calculations. And again, I'll make a video for those. 4.3 is several pages. Read the section. Just read it over, make some notes to yourself, feel like you understand what they're talking about. 4.4, balancing chemical equations. Again, here's several problems. Again, do as many as you feel like you need in order to get the idea. Again, I'll show a couple of videos on 4.9 and 4.10. You want to try those on your own as well. 4.5 is precipitation reactions. So again, read the section. By the end of that section, you should know what a precipitation reaction is. It's pretty simple, but make sure you know what it is. 4.6, net ionic equations, just read it over. I'm not going to ask you questions about net ionic equations, but read it over. 4.7, acid-base reactions. There are 2 end of chapter problems to work on with that one, 85 and 86. So do those 2. Read it over, do those 2 problems. 4.8, oxidation reduction reactions. Again, just know what a reduction oxidation reaction is. So read the section. Okay, so if there aren't any problems listed, just read it over and try to get a general understanding of what's happening. If you have questions about those, next week we can go over them. And then 4.9, same thing. Just read this over. I'm not going to have you do those particular calculations, but read it over. Okay, so main thing is read the section, do the example problems. Feel free to watch the videos as they appear of those example problems, and then do these end of chapter problems. Okay, good luck.